Hello and welcome back to I believe it's season 12 of Grand Arena. So this is also a 3v3, just like the last couple of Grand Arenas, and no ships this time. And the setting is slightly different. We have 11 teams that I have to set, and we have three teams in the front each, three at the back and the top section, and two below over here. So, because we have more points allocated to the top section, you would want to keep your toughest teams out here in the front top section so that they have to go through that to get the maximum points. So if you have one team which you absolutely know can act as a wall, make sure you keep it over here. Now, this is the first Grand Arena after Padme has come out, so we are going to be seeing some interesting combinations on offense uh, for the Galactic Republic. I don't think Galactic Republic should be kept on defense. There are quite a few cheap counters to that, especially in a 3v3 setting. It's I mean, we don't know how it's going to perform, and unless someone tests it out, it's tough to say how it'll perform. Maybe in the next session, I might just go ahead and keep my Padme on defense, but for now, I've kept her on offense just because I think that with all the protection recovery that or the bonus protection up that the Padme team gives, it's got tons of survivability against a tough assist-based team like Jedi Knight Revan or CLS. So those are some of the things that I'll be trying out this time. Quick overview about my opponent. I've got Hasse, and it's a mismatch again, so it's not going to be a very interesting match. Hasse from Czech Elite, no Darth Revan, no Malik, so and even with the mods, it's not that much of a comparison. So what I did was I kept a relatively light defense. I did not keep my Darth Revan team on defense. I did keep a Malik team in there, but I did not keep my Darth Revan on defense, um, just so that uh, just so that my opponent does not have that tough of time clearing the boards. Because usually when there's a mismatch and the opponents see my roster, they usually don't attack at all. I want my opponent to attack at least a little bit so that I can get a sense of how some of my teams are doing. So I've set some relatively medium teams, not really tough teams. I've set some medium teams for my opponent to try out and hopefully draw some offense in. So what I've done is at the top, even though these I haven't kept my Darth Revan or CLS or Jedi Knight Revan or Treya on defense, I still have kept some relatively tougher teams, which I did not plan to use on offense, but with in the right combination, they could make a tricky defense. And the first one I've used a few times, which is Juhani, Barris and Jolie. It's a survivability team, and you can't really cheese it. You have to take something tough against that. Not many attempts have been made against that, so I really don't know the effectiveness of that. So I'm curious to see how that does. I've kept it in the front. So if my opponent attacks, hopefully they'll have an attempt or two against that. And then I've kept Malik with Mission and Zalbar. Now, this is something that I've spoken about 2, 3 Grand Arenas ago. And the reason that this works really well is Malik, he's G12 plus plus with both the G12 pieces and extremely tough and tanky. So that Malik by himself is a tough thing to take out. And the fact that you've got Mission and Zalbar in there, who can daze, who can go into stealth, provide an additional taunt, and tons of damage, this team will become really tough to control. The reason I like Malik in there is Malik converts all of his protection to health. So anytime anyone damages him or just uses an AoE, Malik will fall below 100% health, and Zalbar will end up taunting and having retribution on him, which is great for mission as well. So that's the reasoning behind Malik in that team. This team does not have a leader, but it would require a very tough team to take out. So if my opponent attacks, I'll get to see how this team does. I've kept a Daka zombie team. Usually I keep Acolyte, or once I tried out Jedi Knight Anakin, but this time I want to try out Hermit Yoda. There's an additional cleanse, additional heal, and the fact that Hermit Yoda is going to add Master's training on Daka and Zombie. So anytime Daka or Zombie dies, Hermit Yoda is going to get a turn again and call both of them to assist again with another Master's training, since I have the Zeta on as unique. So that's the thinking behind that team. Should be interesting on defense. And at the lower section, I've kept some relatively easier teams. I've kept the Rex Wampa First Order Stormtrooper team, and I've kept a regular trooper team with range. I've got the two tanks in there, and I've got range. Um, it's he gives retribution to everyone, and there's a lot of protection and health recovery in this. So it's a medium team to keep on defense. And then I've kept my Bosk, Django, and L3 in there. Tons of scoundrel synergy with L3, so Bosk and Django will do well. And Bosk and Boba, sorry, not Django. At the back over here, this one is only two teams to be set over here. I've kept some relatively light teams again. I've kept Candris under Vader, which is going to be plenty of dot synergy, and I've kept Scion as a tank over there. And I've kept Old Ben lead with Leia and Spirit. Now, Old Ben acts as the tank and the lead over here, and his lead gives evasion every time that your allies evade, they get 30% turn meter. And in addition to the natural evasion that Old Ben is going to give Spirit and Leia, both Spirit and Leia also have an ability to generate foresight. So that's another way in which they can evade and get tons of turn meter. And both of them are heavy damage dealers. One of them can go into stealth, the other one constantly generates foresight, so it'll be tough to take them out, especially with Old Ben in there reducing turn meter and ending up taunting. So that's the rationale behind that team. Something new I'm trying out, so let's see how that does. And really, very medium to low gear teams over here. I've got a Tarkin Empire speed team. I've got a Savage lead team with a pre-taunter, and I've got a rebel team with Jin lead. So nothing too great out here. So I have all my offense available with me because I decided not to keep a tough defense this time, hopefully trying to get my opponent to attack me. But my opponent did set a quite a tough defense. So unfortunately, I don't think my opponent is planning to attack me. He kept all his major teams on defense. Remember, my opponent does not have Darth Revan or Malak. Does have CLS and JTR, who I don't see on defense over here, but he's kept his Jedi Knight Revan team, his Treya team, crew team, and his Bosk down below, EP, and a bounty hunter team. So at least 5 of the 6 teams that I see over here are some of his top teams. So I don't think my opponent is planning to launch an attack, but this will give us a good chance to practice and use some and do some testing out. Now I'm really curious to test out Padme, and I was wondering what team to take Padme against. Um, I was planning to use Padme, GK, and let me see who all I have from Galactic Republic. So I was planning to use Padme, GK, and Anakin, since Anakin applies healing immunity and buff immunity. Padme lead provides plenty of protection up, and we've got a taunter in Kenobi. So I was thinking of using them against the Jedi Knight Revan team to see how they do. Um, I don't know if they'll be effective. Maybe the damage potential is just not there with especially with Jolie reviving again. But they do have buff immunity, which should help control some of the buffs that these guys throw around. So I'm not confident that it's going to work. In fact, I'm 80% sure I'm going to lose that match. But I just want to see how they perform, because what that does is that frees up my Treya, Nihilus, and Thrawn to use in other teams, or if I decide to keep it on defense. But that is, I mean, if I can use Padme to take out a Jedi Knight Revan team in 3v3, that'll be a big win. So I don't know how this will do, but I'm just going to try it out because this is just going to be a practice grand arena. I don't think my opponent plans to attack. So let's see how these guys do. They're going to be fast and they're going to mark someone, most probably Padme, but I want to see how much of a disaster this is, or if they have at least some survivability. Okay, now so you can see that because of all these assists, because I have my second Zeta on Padme as well, I get 40% protection up against these guys. physical damage and stun them, which can't be copied or dispelled. But it can be evaded, so I shouldn't use that. Oh, but it'll at least call everyone to assist, so I'm going to start whittling down on these guys. So they've got tons of survivability, at least that much is there. And yep, because of the 40% excess on assist, they do a pretty decent job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to proc Savior on Yoda. Okay, so the assists do fine, but the problem is they don't have a revive. He actually survived that. That was surprising. Yep, he's gonna go. So yeah, the damage dealer is gone. So unfortunately, nothing much can be done. So they do have a lot of survivability against assist-based attacks, which is great to see. So maybe in a 5v5 setting, they may do well. But in a 3v3 setting, I think there's just not enough damage. That is, yeah, there's survivability, but there's definitely not enough damage to get through that. So they'll probably do much better in a 5v5 setting. All right, that's good to know. So I'm probably going to exit out of this match and just take in my regular Nihilus, Thrawn, and Treya team in to finish that off. Okay, Sith. It's too bad because I was hoping to use Thrawn against the Treya team down there because I wanted to see how Magma does against Treya. Against yeah, the Treya team, but I was planning to use Thrawn, Magma, and Death Trooper for that, but probably won't be able to use that. Okay, so Fracture Yoda. And Isolate Jolie. And then Fracture Yoda again when I get the chance. Okay, and then just keep working on Jolie, and then when I get the chance, I will annihilate Revan. There we go. Now Savior is not going to be procced, so I can safely go and get rid of Yoda. And then because Jolie is isolated, he won't be able to bring Yoda back. Okay, so this is the standard team used to take out Jedi Knight Revan. But I was too curious about how Padme performs. I think Padme team will do really well once I have the other Zetas on them because I didn't have Anakin Zeta or General Kenobi Zeta. And I probably should have used Snips over there. Maybe Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, and and Padme. But yeah, I probably need to gear my Snips up a little more and maybe give her the Zeta. So against Treya, I'll probably just use my CLS team to power through that. Let's see. Wondering, can I save my CLS and use two other leads over here? Nah, let me just go with the standard team. All right, so I'm going to Um, let's see, just stun Nihilus. Since he gains turn meter if Treya and Scion get debuffs. So this is not ideal because yeah, because Chewie is isolated. So that's never a good sign. Let me see if I can at least get rid of Scion. Nah. Okay, so this probably won't go anywhere. I will need to come back in with another team to take this out. Okay, what else can I use over here? Jedi Knight Revan. Yep, that should do a pretty straightforward job of this. What other Jedi do I have? I probably don't need any other Jedi. Let me just throw my mace in there. Okay, let me finish off Treya first. Okay, it's going to take a while. But slowly whittling away on Treya. Get the turn meter back to Grandmaster Yoda and finish it off. And then just Scion now. Let's call in Mace for the finishing blow. Okay. Now we have a crew team on top. I might just go ahead and use my JTR against this. That's the standard counter against that. And then I'll use my crew team against my enemy's Bosk. I think that will work best. Okay, hide. I always like to hide BB-8 just because he has a assist chance. Okay, now let's get rid of Fox. And then we'll work on crew after that. Okay, let me see if I can land a stun. And then some healing immunity. The reason why JTR works so well against both crew as well as Bosk is locked healing immunity, because both these teams tend to regenerate health and protection a lot, and having a locked healing immunity buff is amazing. Okay, we're almost there to Illuminated Destiny. Let's get rid of him and then Illuminated Destiny. Right, let's just put it on auto. Okay, so then the top wall should be done. Now let's go ahead and see what's down below. Okay, kept some sisters over here and zone Padme team. That's good. 5-star Padme. So that's good. We'll get to see how Padme performs on defense. I'll take some interesting teams against that. So yeah, even the sisters he's kept on defense. So there's basically nothing on offense for him. All right. What am I going to do next? I'll probably use my crew against this. My crew against the boss team. First order. I'm leaning more and more towards using these three in my 3v3 team. First order Stormtrooper is a great tank, and he can be used on defense against in addition with somebody else. So I've been doing that with him for the last few grand arenas. Okay, let's work on. I should have probably taken out CAD first, but um, Boba is always dangerous with his executes. Okay, stun again and finish off Boba. And now we'll finish CAD and before moving on to Bosk. So I always like to use my basic with crew, um, the stun and then the basic. I almost never use this the third ability, which is focused rage, unless the target is stunned. The reason I like to use the basic is if the enemy is debuffed, then crew is going to get a taunt automatically. So it's probably the only way in which a character can get a taunt on basic. Most of the characters, if they have an ability to a way to give themselves taunt, they do it on their specials. But crew is probably the only guy who gives a taunt on basic. Well, crew and zombie as well, I guess, because any action that the zombie does, as long as it's her turn, she gets taunt. But crew is really good, but because as long as he's attacking a debuffed enemy, he regains taunt again. And I always like to keep taunt on my characters on my main tank at all times. That leaves my other two characters free to do some damage. With the exception of in the case like this, for example, when it's stunned, then I use the focus rage ability and deal double damage. Okay, let's keep this on auto. So yeah, so that's the reasoning behind using his basic ability most of the time. And since he also gains taunt, and taunt is a status effect, what does is it recovers, it helps him recover 5% health and protection. So you get to do that as well. Okay, so now the Palp team, I'll probably take my Bastilla in there with a couple of other Jedi. Don't have a tank. I need someone to absorb the fracture. So I'll probably go, I think Plo Koon is a tank, right? Yeah. All right. He's not modded though, but that doesn't matter. He's just there to absorb the fracture. And Bastilla and Ezra should be doing all the work anyway. Okay, let's get rid of Palp first. There, Plo has absorbed the fracture, so now let me ignore Thrawn and get rid of Palp. Stun Vader, didn't get stunned, so finish Palp, and now we'll just finish Vader and then go for Thrawn last. All right. Plo hasn't even got a turn yet. Come on, get some turn meter, and let's finish him off. Okay. So that was the Jedi team. Basti, really amazing against EP lead. I've got bounty hunters led by Zam. What do I want to use against them? Let's see. Can I use my Ewoks? They're pretty slow. I think Zam would be fast. 230. My Ewoks won't be able to go under stealth because my Wicket will be using AoE and critting on Dengar, which means they won't go into stealth. But they do have, let me see, I might use someone with Tenacity up. I don't have my Rex in here. All right, let me give Ewoks a shot. I'm always iffy about Ewoks in 3v3, but I think they do a decent job. I don't need days for this, so I'm going to take in Paplu, who also gives Tenacity up on basic and who also taunts. So plenty of healing in this team. Turn meter generation. Let's see if they're able to take out this semi-weak team. Okay, I'm going to call, and let's put this guy under stealth. Okay, Zam is out. Let's target down on Greedo, get rid of him. Yeah, relatively weak, so not a big deal. The only thing you have to be worried about with the Zam lead is anytime they use a special, they put thermal detonators on, which can do health-based damage. So if you let them go unchecked, it could be problematic. All right, let's see what's there at the back zone over here. Kira Nest and Karth Mission Zalbar. So it's a pretty decked out defense. I'm impressed. This is good. I get to go and get some good practice over here. So that's nice. All right. So I need 5, and they're all 5 decent teams. 2 really good Scoundrel teams up here, 2 really good sister teams up here, and the Galactic Republic team. So let's see if I have enough to take them out. For sisters, for this one, the Mother Talzin lead, I might use my bounty hunters. Oh, but I don't have Boba to execute, and I don't have the Zeta on Bosk as well, on Django as well. So I might try my bounty hunters against the Galactic Republic. Okay, let's see if that works. Django, Greedo, and who else? Maybe Dengar. Yeah, let's see how this works against them. They're pretty weak, so let's see how much of a difference this makes. Okay, let's reduce our turn meter. Ooh, they do hit hard. That's because of the courage that they keep building up. Okay, let me get rid of Anakin. So yeah, even with a weak Padme, just because of the bonuses that her leadership gave, this team did pretty well. I mean, they were not that well geared. They didn't have a single Zeta on them. But these 3, without GK, because GK is more universally plug and play, and you can use him in another team in a 3v3 setting. So probably the best 3v3 team is this one that I'm seeing right now. Padme, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Ahsoka. Just because of all the, especially fully Zeta, this team probably could be a handful in 3v3. So my next Zeta is probably going to go on Ahsoka. I already have both the Zetas on Padme. and she's G11, soon to be G12, probably sometime tomorrow. Ahsoka will take a lot to become G12. She's got tons of eyeballs needed, so it might be a week or so before she's G12. That'll be around the same time I put the Zeta on her. So those three are probably the team I'm going to try on offense, on defense for Grand Arena 3v3. But the next one is only going to come after a couple of weeks, I think. So it's a while away. All right, so let me go down here and see if I can clear up some of these teams. So Grievous is great against any team which has a lot of buffs. So in this team, taunt needs to be removed a lot of time, and buff immunity needs to be placed as well in the team with the Karth, Mission, and Zalbar. So I'll probably use my Grievous against that to see, and let's see how that goes. So that's the standard. I recently got B1 up to G11 as well, um, for the Padme event. So my separate team is shaping up. It's got all the relevant zetas, and my B1 is almost um, 6 stars. So just 100 shards away from 5 stars. So I'm waiting for when that will be completed. Okay, there you go, buff immunity. That's why I love this team. So even though Karth went before 100%, below 100% health, Zalbar did not assist. AoE, and now we can go ahead and target down Mission, and Zalbar is not going to assist since he's got buff immunity. Okay, some more healing. Okay, let's finish off Mission. Heal up B1, B2. Heal up B2 some more. And now it's just a matter of finishing up Zalbar. Heal up B2. Stun, and we're done. Yeah, so this team is great against any team which depends a lot on buffs. So Grievous is great against um, Karth teams, against Jedi team like a Bastila, also against crew teams, since they rely a lot on buffs as well, advantage and taunts and all of that. Bosk probably not as effective because Bosk's taunt is conditional in the sense that if he's got a second Zeta, he'll continue to taunt even after it's being dispelled. So probably won't use Grievous against Bosk. But otherwise that's good. Okay, so against the Kira Nest team, what do I have? I could use my sisters. Yeah, I could use my who else do I have? Maybe I use Thalia or Acolyte. Okay, let me go in with Acolyte. Plague is a good way to handle Nest. Okay, let's get some Plague out, and that got rid of Kira, the Mother of Dragons. And now we just need to get rid of YOLO, and then just keep stunning Nest and applying Plague on her. Okay, let's use a few specials on her. Some more specials. Let's heal up. Some more specials. Couldn't finish her off. That's too bad. I probably needed a tank in there, maybe a zombie or something else. So, and I don't even have Savage. Savage is usually my go-to operator for finishing off nest. But I think we do have a few stunners. Let's see. Bounty hunters usually are really good at stunning. We've got Cad. Let's see which other stunners we have. We've got let's see. Yeah, we've got Cad Bane. All the other bounty hunters we've used up. We have oh yeah, we've got Zeb. Zeb is great. But I need something to finish off Nest, some big damage dealers. Okay, so let's take in Zeb as well. Rebel, where is Zeb? And let's see which attackers we have, because we need someone dealing some heavy damages. Let's see. Zeb also does daze apart from stun, so that's helpful against Nest. Who else can I get in there? Big attacks. Let's see who else I have. Don't really have much left. Maybe I use Death Trooper. I don't know. This probably won't work, but yeah, there's nobody to kill to apply Death Mark. But I've got some stunners over here and a couple of dazers. So it's always a good idea to keep Savage in your offense to take care of some pesky nests like this. All right, so we've landed Daze. And let's stun her again. Okay, stun, reduce turn meter, but okay, big hit. Okay, we'll have to whittle her down slowly, I guess. If we don't get countered to death. Nope, Daze is just not landing. How about now? Okay, Daze landed, but he's gone, unfortunately. No stun. All right, not successful. Let's see if we can land a big hit. Okay, what else can take down a lone nest? Let's see. Or you know what? We'll come back to the nest later, and take care of the sisters first. With zombie and Asajj, there's no plague out there, but there is zombie, so we need survivability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scoundrels in with tons of survivability, which is these two prepared scoundrels, young Han and young Lando, who give prepared to other allies, and Vandor Chewie, who's great at reviving. So even if things go south, at least if he has prepared, he can revive the others. Leaderless team, but I think it's pretty effective because all you need to do is survive over here in order to exhaust zombies to free revives. Okay, I'm going to give prepare to Vandor so that he's ready. And now we just need to wait to clear off the others. Okay, let's give prepare to Lando and keep healing. And keep give prepared back to Han. Retribution. All right. Let's give some protection up to everyone. And we have to get rid of Asajj twice. Let's keep building up offense. Okay. So just have to make sure that everyone always has prepared at all times. Just do some healing. There we go. Okay, Vandor has prepared, so that's good. You should always be prepared. And let me cleanse this guy. And now I transfer the prepared back to Vandor since he doesn't have prepared anymore. And put him into stealth also so that he's not in any danger. So a very good high survivability team. Let me heal up Lando some more. You've got 2 healers. So now the revives have been exhausted. Let me pass the prepared back to Young Han. Let me heal up this guy first now. There you go. Okay, one thing I didn't consider was that this team does not have any AoE. So that's unfortunate. So I just have to wait for Acolyte to come out of stealth. Damn, that was an oversight on my part. So Zombie is fine. She's never going to Zombie's never going to take a turn again. But now unless Acolyte comes out of stealth, I'm out of luck. I didn't think this one through. Well, let's just see if Acolyte comes out of stealth. But you can see the survivability of this team. There's plenty of health and protection, and plenty of health and protection recovery, and a lot of revives as well. Okay, come on, get out of stealth. This may not have been the best option. There's a very low chance for Acolyte to come out of stealth in this particular lineup. Unless she uses a special and yeah, she's probably not going to come out. Okay, let's just keep using basics till Acolyte is able to take a turn to come out. There's tons of office being built up by both these guys, but Yeah, we probably didn't think this through. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this off with another team. Let's take care of the other team first, the Mother Talzin team. Let's see. So there's no zombie out there, so I can probably use Mother Talzin. I can probably use my Empire team. I don't have Vader. Who else do I have? So I'm deliberately not using my Sith Empire team just because I want to. I usually keep it on defense, and that's what I'm planning to do as well. So I won't use that on offense. I'll just try to finish it off with any other team that I have. Let's see. Okay, so let me use this, and what Sith do I have? Do I have any healers? Visas? I probably might have to go back in with Nest or something, but yeah, this probably won't do anything much, but probably you'll have to go in with Kira and Nest to finish them off. Okay, let's get some stun. Very good. Okay. Okay, Visas is hopeless. Let's land some more stuns. And some shock, and that's it. EP is extremely effective against Night Sisters, especially if they don't have a zombie around. Okay, so Visas was hopeless. I should have probably gone in with another Sith. On this team, so I have the zombie acolyte and I have Nest, solo Nest left. What else can I use to take out over here? Zombie acolyte. I can probably use my Nest over here. And what do I use against the solo Nest down below? I should save my Savage on offense from now on. He doesn't do much on defense, just extra defense bonus. But Savage is really amazing versus Nest, and he doesn't even need to be Zetaed for that. Okay, AoEs. Which ones of mine have AoEs? Oh, maybe I can use my troopers. Yeah, that's right. That was a no-brainer. I should probably use my troopers in the beginning itself for this. A lot of AoEs and a lot of turn meter gain. There you go. I should just use this right from the beginning. All right, so now only the Nest is there. Okay, let's use Kira and Nest to finish her off. Who else can I bring in as a third? So Nest is gonna day, she's gonna stun. I need a big hitter. And no one with assists. Let's see who else I can use. Probably my resistance trooper might be my biggest hitter so far. Or maybe Maybe I use Sabine for some armor shred. Okay, let's see which other scoundrels I have, because scoundrels get a lot of bonuses under Kira. Maybe Zam. Yeah, she does decent damage, and she applies thermal detonators, which do percentage health damage. So that could help. Could probably use someone with healing immunity as well. Sid would have been perfect over here. Ah well, let me try this out and see if this works. But ideally, you want Savage against that, against a lone nest. Okay. She's not going to recover protection since she doesn't have Kira lead anymore. But I bet this nest is built with tons of tenacity, which is why she seems to be resisting my debuffs. Well, this thermal detonator is stuck. Let's see. So Zam is going to go pretty soon. There she goes. It stays her. Stun is not landing. Probably got something with healing immunity. It'll actually be better if Kira goes away, because she's eating up a lot of the turns when Nest comes out. Okay, let's see if we can get a big hit over here. There. Kira should actually die. That'll make things much easier. Yeah, I think this is a high tenacity nest. There you go. Now Kira is dead. Now it should be easier. Let's just put it on auto and see how it does. There you go, making some progress. So we've got somebody with healing immunity. Boba actually works pretty well against Nest. Healing immunity, big hits with execute. There. Stun finally landed. I bet this is a high tenacity build of Nest. There we go. Took a while. Okay, so you've cleared the board. Not the prettiest clear, but I was just focusing on trying out some other teams over here. My opponent kept absolutely everything on defense. So I don't think he'll be able to clear even one zone. I don't think they are even planning to attempt my attack. So yeah, so I'll give you an update later on the in the description of the video on how it finally ended up. The rest of my opponents in this Grand Arena session are not. I think only one other person has Darth Revan. So it's a very light matchup for me this time. Yeah, Genevieve, Darth Star, Death Star German Order. That's the only other person who has Darth Revan, but no Malak. So I think it's going to be a pretty simple matchup for me this time. It's going to be nothing too exciting in this 3v3 setting. So it's good. The rewards are Zetas this time, which is always helpful to have. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty simple, low stress Grand Arena. All right, so that was it for this session. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll probably try out Padme in a few other comps on offense next time. I'll go with the toughest, start with the toughest comps and see what is the toughest team that Padme can take out without being overwhelmed. So obviously Jedi Knight Revan that we tried today, that was a failure. In my next GA, I'll probably go for some other tough team, maybe a crew or a Bosk, or the standard teams that we usually see on defense, and see what's the best team that Padme can be used in a 3v3 setting to take out. So that's the goal. So look forward to a few more rounds of experimentation over the next couple of Grand Arena sessions. All right, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for joining in.